What's up, geeks and everybody else, and welcome to Geek Mythology, a podcast brought to you by my good friend Sugey on YouTube.
And Sow. He's just called Sow.
That's all you're gonna know about me.
Yeah, this is a little different. Normally I do the intros in the podcast, but Sow decided to take the reins for today's episode.
Indeed. And I'm not doing the joke though, it's all on you.
Yes, I always do the joke. The joke is my thing. So, knock knock.
Who's there?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
You who?
Yoo-hoo! Big summer blowout. Do you
Yeah,
get the
I don't
reference?
know that, but I just
get the
ruined the
reference?
joke partially. No,
But
I
I-
don't know what the summer blowout is.
It's the shopkeeper guy in Frozen.
Oh, right, the guy who actually has an accent.
He's like, yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. It's one of my favourite parts. So-
Yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, today we're talking about games. Games.
games and games. Okay. And we're gonna talk about two types of games. Video games and like playground games or
Pretty much, yeah. You know those stupid things you do as children in the primary school play? Yeah, those.
those games. Primary school.
Games.
It seems like only yesterday. Well, for me at least, it seems like only yesterday. I was in year 6.
Personally for me, I think year 6 is the best year of primary school.
Obviously.
Seriously.
I mean, there is the pressure of SATs, and they make it out to be this giant, big thing.
It's like, we've had SATs before in year 2, but this is the SATs we're aware of.
Yeah.
This is like, oh yeah, no, these aren't just end of school, end of year exams. These are like somewhat something, indeed.
And for our non-British audience, the SATs are basically this test exam thing that you do in primary school or / elementary school, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It's at the end of Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2,
Um,
which is year 2 and year 6.
the year 2 SATs, I don't remember it at all.
I know they aren't just normal end of year exams, but they're called SATs. But then the year 6 ones are probably the stuff that maybe some like secondary schools might look at if they want to see. Yeah, and it's also what some of our predictions for years later.
What was interesting is my sister, who's in a younger year than me, I
Yes.
remember, this is what I do remember about the year 2 SATs, was that at our primary school, they pretended that the SATs weren't a thing, so that the kids didn't, feel pressured.
Oh, okay.
They were like, oh, here's just a random normal test, totally not the SATs, which are important.
I see. I remember in my school there was the base level exams, right, for maths and English.
Yeah.
But then like the kids who were in the higher groups, so I did the higher level of English
Yep.
only. No,
Yep.
I did the higher level of either maths or English, one of them. While
Yep.
some people did the higher level of both. But that's
Yep.
not why we're here. We're here to talk about the fun
The
stuff.
games. Oh, I just want to mention, in primary school, did you have like this thing every Friday afternoon? We called it Golden Time. Golden Time.
We didn't have it every afternoon. We had sort of this thing where we had to earn it. So like once like a certain glass was full of like marbles or something,
Yeah.
we'd do it. Sometimes the teacher was like,
Marbles.
"Here, have it. You've done so well this week." I think what I did, at least in year 4 for sure, I remember going into the IT room, either playing some Cartoon Network Ben 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Or using the website that you use now and I've used for the past 8 years to watch Pokemon.
Oh, that's what you did.
Yeah.
I remember. We used to have Golden Time all the time, every Friday, no matter what. But then
well, I feel like for us it depended on the year we were in.
But then the head teacher left, and there was this new leadership, and they took it away. You had to earn it after that.
Okay. I've been watching things for quite a while.
So I don't remember exactly what I did, but I do remember I was into drawing.
About on the game side, playground game side of this, right? Yeah, Golden Time. Sometimes we'd go outside and
Yeah,
play
you
games
go
as
outside
well.
and play. Yep.
Everybody was like, computers. Just like the IT room, Maya. But there are, I actually don't recognize the stuff you put here. Sharky,
Oh
Ghosty, and the
yes,
Trim
yes, yes.
Trail. I
So
don't know what
these
those
are
are.
these are games that I played at the playground.
Yeah, yeah, which I don't recognize. I might maybe once you explain it, I'll know what they are. But
So I'll explain these games, which Sharky and Ghosty. Okay, those are the nicknames. I don't exactly remember what we called them, but in the playground there were lines, like because they had like a football pitch or something. They drew lines on
yeah,
the
okay,
playground
yeah, yeah.
for various things, like a football pitch. There was like a
Hmm.
big chess grid or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, as normal, yeah.
Okay, you got lines. Ghosty is literally Pac-Man. You're only allowed to walk on the lines. One person is it slash the ghost. Literally Pac-Man in real
Okay,
life, without the yellow circle things. It's just one person's it. You have to try and get everyone. Kind of like Pac-Man.
okay, okay,
Sharky's the same. I don't exactly remember what Sharky was about.
okay,
It just
okay.
it involved a shark, and I think it's another variant of the tag your
Yeah,
it
I
game.
remember something we did in PE actually. So like a game that our PE teachers did was like a shark game. I don't know whether we called it Shark Attack or something, but do you know those mats we have, like those blue mats in
Oh
schools?
yeah, like the gymnastic sort of
Yeah,
mats.
yeah,
Yeah.
those mats. They were placed around the hall, right?
Mhm.
And those were the safe islands, you
Okay.
see. I
Okay.
think what it was is you started off with one shark or one or two sharks.
Okay.
And so you'd have to run about, and when the whistle was blown, you'd have to get to
An
a
island.
safe island. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think each time somebody was caught, they'd become a shark.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like an
Yeah.
infection sort of game. Um, I think slowly the islands were removed, and until maybe one person was left, I suppose. Another
Yeah.
similar game was probably Bulldog. Do you know Bulldog?
British bull. Is it? Yeah, bulldog. Where you is that where you
You
run
run
across the
from
room
yeah,
and
yeah.
there's like one person in the middle. Yeah.
I'd be like, if you don't want to get rough in this game, don't play.
Yeah. It gets quite violent.
Yeah, but I feel like the teachers. I think at one point, we used to have these tags on like around our waist, which apparently I think was used in rugby,
Yeah,
tag
tag
rugby or
rugby.
something.
Yeah.
So at one point, I think the teachers just gave us tags, and if those tags were removed, you'd be caught.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
what is the trim trail?
So
The
the trim trail
trim
we had,
trail.
they called it the trim trail. It's literally one of those like obstacle sort of courses with
Oh, you mean like those? Oh,
swings and rope thingies and
and like the balancing
balancing
beam and stuff.
things,
Yeah.
monkey bars, that sort of thing.
I have a game we used to play on our balancing beam.
What was that?
Okay, so basically we'd have it. So I don't think there was any teams or there was any coherent teams or what the rules were, but you'd go on each side of the balancing beam. You'd walk up, and it's basically we had we had on one part of it we had a part that's going up, and on the other side another part that was going up. Then
Yep.
in the middle there was that sort of flat long beam.
Yep.
So we'd be on that. So the two people on the flat long beam would basically essentially fight to push the other person off.
Okay. It's like sumo on a
And
beam.
yeah, and another we had this another apparatus where it was tires on one side and beams on the other, and it was like a sort of a climbing frame.
Yep.
So and what we do is that had like that was like in a red square, you see. So we
Okay.
do it so where we'd have to push each other out of the red square. So another sumo side of game. The funny part of that was I was watching quite a bit of Beyblade back then, right? Yeah,
Yep.
the Beyblade that was airing during that time. So I'd always quote unquote make moves based off of those Beyblade moves.
Oh.
And I used to do this, okay, sorry to ramble on, but in Bed was the sacrificing move where you jump to the side and hit somebody off.
Oh yes. Yes.
I was doing that long before I got Minecraft. I was doing that on the balancing
You
beam.
were doing that in real life,
Yeah, I was
jumping off to
jumping off to
push
the
people
side and
off.
pushing the other person off. We became quite wary of it like late year 5 because the teachers kind of like whenever they saw it they're like stop. So whenever we saw a teacher we'd go like yeah, no, we're just using this quite normally.
You know, you seem to have a really violent sort of
Yeah, yeah,
playground
yeah,
game.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, no. Do you want to, do you have anything else you can specifically say?
We used to play Manhunt, and we did this in year 7 in
I
secondary school as
Oh,
well.
right. I didn't know about Manhunt till I came
But
into
we had like
secondary school.
we had this Manhunt game. But
Yeah.
our school was like the playground was relatively big, so we had your playground on the concrete sort of that sort of that
Can I just
playground.
say something?
Yeah,
My primary school's playground was massive because we'd have the playground in between going to the actual playground and the building. There was like a bit
yeah.
of playground
Oh,
area for like the
yeah,
reception kids maybe.
yeah,
But then back there we had the apparatus, then a
yeah,
small grass area,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
after that grass area, we had this big concrete area, which had it had like a sort of, oh, I forgot what you call them, a platio or somewhere where
yeah.
there's this big sort of roof where you could stand under when it
Oh,
rains. But
oh
we had this
wow.
big area where we had like a football field on one side, and past the concrete, right, we had
Yeah.
another huge grass field, like quite a big grass field, with trees lining one side, then a giant bush at the back.
My school had a playground. There were two playgrounds, one for the younger years and one for the older kids. There's a playground, and then next to that playground was like this football pitch, which was like
Mhm.
it wasn't grass, it was something. And
Yeah.
then there was a big hill, and on the steep part of the hill, that was where the trim trail thing was, on some sort of gradient, which was quite,
I
cool.
loved my primary school
And then
playground.
on
It
top of the
was
hill was the big, field where you do sports days and things like that. And what was cool was because it was a hill, there was this bridge, right, that connected the field with the second floor of the building, or first floor of the building,
oh, right.
of the school building,
That's
which
actually
was
quite cool.
cool. And then the playground
Yeah.
underneath that bridge.
I think there is one game I can say for both of us. Okay, first of all, in terms of sports, I used to play a bit of football back then, and I'd always be in goal. And I was like all right at goalie back in like year six, year five,
I
year five.
never got into football.
I was mainly a defender, and I'd just be like, kick your legs. Okay, I
I
didn't
do
have a
remember
violent childhood, but it's just like,
I do remember a game we had was it was you had these like plastic tennis racket things, slash table tennis rackets,
okay,
and a ball,
okay,
and it's literally
okay.
just like hockey, where you hit a ball with a
Ah,
bat, but it's these like plastic tennis rackets slash
I
table
was in
tennis
hockey and
rackets, and you just hit them across the floor because we weren't allowed footballs in the playground, only in the football
oh.
pitch section.
I think you might recognize the next game I'm going to mention in terms of playground games. Do you know, like Zombie, or like where one person's blindfolded and they need to catch everyone? They have to catch
Oh,
other people.
oh, that sounds interesting.
Have you never played something like that?
Never, never ever.
Ah, then there's the other game where you stand against a tree or a wall, and like people have to walk forward to get you, and every time you look back,
Oh yes, that one.
and stand still, and if you move, you have to go back. So
Okay.
those are like
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
playground games we play. But
About
do you want
video
to move
games.
on?
I mean, as a younger kid, had I never really played that much. Apart from I did play a lot actually with browser games and stuff, but
Lots of games.
I didn't have many consoles apart from my Nintendo DS. That's the first console I got, I
Did you
think.
have like the first DS or did you have a DSi?
DSi.
Can I just say something random? I, for some reason, get this sort of feeling of superiority having the original
The
DS
original
over
one.
somebody who had the DSi.
I've
And
played on
it,
the original one, but I
yeah,
didn't own it.
I have a pink one at that.
Was that the one you still
Uh,
bring to school sometimes?
yeah, I seem to have lost its charger though.
Oh.
So yeah. But what kind of games did you have on your DS?
So I had Super Mario Brothers, which was, the platformer game, which was fun, and I also got Mario Kart.
That's fair. I didn't. I had quite a few more games than that personally. I on my DS I had main games I can remember from when I was a kid is some Bratz game. You see,
Okay. Are those like the
the
weird?
TV show. Yeah, yeah. Another one was this sort of like brain training game,
Oh
which was like quite.
yes.
It was
Yeah, I
a
had
series
that.
on the Nintendo
Yeah,
game
I had that.
on the DS.
I
It
think
had a couple.
mine had the brain training game built in, I think. I don't
Oh,
remember having
okay.
a cartridge for
Yeah,
that.
it might be because you had the DSi.
Yeah.
might be the case. Then I had Kung Fu Panda, right?
Kung Fu
Which I
Panda.
think I've started the game so many times and I've only completed it once because I used to get stuck sometimes. So I've completed that game once through only.
Have you completed like Super Mario Brothers at all?
I've never played a
I've
Super Mario game.
have you never?
I never owned one.
Oh, I was gonna say, I've never completed a Super Mario Brothers game. Um, I just I don't
Uh,
I suck at it
yeah.
basically.
And then one of my favorite games, which I started replaying a few months ago, is Pokemon Black,
Okay.
which has an interesting story. Because
Okay.
I got stuck on that for I don't remember how long, but it felt like I was stuck in it for so long.
Oh, I had another game on the Wii. So
Oh, we're
I
talking about the Wii now.
okay,
Yeah.
let's go into yeah. So I had Super Mario Brothers on the Wii as well. But I did have this game called Heat Seeker. It was literally
About
like
that.
War Thunder, but you had modern fighter jets, and it was so bad. It was such a bad game. It was literally fly a fighter jet and try to shoot people down. And then I had another
Okay.
game which was the Sonic slash Mario sort of crossover London
I
2012
wish
Olympics
I
game.
wish I had that game. I wish I had
It
that
was the
game.
London 2012 like Olympics game with
That
Sonic and
was that
Mario.
was
It was so good.
that was a classic. I used to have both Wii Sports, Wii Sport, and Wii Sports
Oh
Resort.
yes, yeah. I loved Wii Sports
Uh,
Resort, but I didn't have it. I had to
yeah.
go around my neighbor's house to
What
play
I'm
that
sad
game.
about is I couldn't play two-player versions of that game because I didn't have
Oh,
the extra. I didn't have a second part of the extra bit that you
yeah.
needed for Wii Sports Resort. Mario Kart was something I banged out.
What was your favorite game within Wii Sports Resort?
Oh, that was either just flying the plane around, but I
Yeah, the
think I would
dog
have loved it
fighting
more if I
is
didn't
so
get
good.
to do dog fighting. I couldn't
Uh,
do dog fighting because it was two-player. Or it's the kendo sword fighting.
oh, sword fighting.
I love that.
I liked the cycling one and the boxing one.
Oh yeah, the
Literally,
boxing's from the first game.
yeah,
Boxing's from the
but you
first game.
just spam
It was nice.
punch your Wii remote and the
I
nunchuck.
didn't spam in boxing. I actually waited. I did it
Did you?
properly.
Oh,
Yeah. Another game I had on the Wii is actually Sonic Colors, but I got stuck on it really early on, so I didn't get too far into the game. I got
oh,
to like the second world. There was actually one more console that I had as a kid, which was the Nintendo 3DS. I had problems with that 3DS quite a bit, to be honest. I only had one game on it, which was Mario Kart 7. Yes, Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart
7.
7.
And I think that's why I can do decent at the Nintendo Switch version of Mario Kart because it's the same sort of controls with the
Yeah,
joystick.
I've
It feels a bit
realized
different.
how much the Mario Kart graphics have changed because
Uh,
I like quite recently we've been playing Mario Kart on the Switch, right? In school.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we were playing Mario Kart on the Switch with the relatively new graphics, and then I went
Looks
back to
so.
play Mario Kart on the DS after many years,
Oh,
and only now I
yeah,
realized just how far the graphics have developed and
yeah,
improved.
good.
Because back then I didn't realize that was, trash.
Yeah. But yeah, Mario Kart is just a legendary series, which we might not have as good motion controls as we used to on the Wii, but the new version's still good. It's still
hmm
good because it's got a collection of old maps.
So going on to more recent games, what have you been playing?
Oh, Seth, you see, I play a variety of games like Valorant, League of Legends, Paladin. No, I'm kidding. It's Minecraft. That's what
Yes,
I play.
just same with me, just Minecraft. I don't have an Xbox or other consoles or a
I've never had
particularly
one of
good
those.
PC, so I don't really have, all those games.
I would still rank like a Nintendo Wii over any console, any other console, because just it's much more like those games are competitive. While this console was much more fun to play with friends.
hmm
It was
So,
just so nice.
with Minecraft, how did you get into Minecraft?
So you see, when I was a wee lad of 8 years old, at a funeral, in fact,
Okay, a funeral.
I found out about Stampy Longnose.
At a funeral.
Yes, because the kids were shoved into a room because we as a kid you don't care about funerals and stuff. I apologize for all the people's funerals. I hope you're all right. But basically, this kid was watching Stampy, one of his videos, and I was like, "Huh, that looks cool." And as you know, as an 8-year-old, I was very much on the internet watching YouTube and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think it was the same for me, but I didn't really get into Stampy as as early as other
Yeah,
people did.
I think I was watching his videos before his 100th
Yeah,
episode of Lovely World
I
came out.
probably only got into it when he was maybe episode 200
Let
or
me do a bit
something.
of research.
I only
That's
got
around the
into
time
it.
I dropped out.
Yeah,
That's around the time I dropped it.
I only got into it in year 6, basically, because people started talking about it, and then that's when I
Mm.
got into it.
If we talk about if we talk about it in terms of years, I found Stampy when I was year 4.
Yeah, oh, that's early. Yeah,
Yeah.
I only got into it like year 5 or year 6. But
I
then I did get
yeah.
Minecraft when I was 10, on my 10th birthday,
You got
I
Minecraft
think.
before me then. You
Oh,
got Minecraft before me.
yeah, I remember the version. It was like 1.7, I
Oh,
think,
bless.
when I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got Minecraft, I didn't play it that often because the my computer that I was playing it on was trash. It didn't handle it very well, and I just basically stopped playing. So yeah, I got Minecraft in year 5, but I didn't play it until like year 8, and that's when Bed Wars came out. I think it was Bed Wars that prompted me to re-download the game. I was seeing all these videos on YouTube, and I was like, I want to play that game. So that's why I
Yeah.
re-downloaded Minecraft and started playing again.
Yeah. So Stampy's what got me into it, and from Stampy I found other YouTubers like iBallistic Squid and Fearadub, aka Ashdub, who's now unfortunately quit YouTube because his channel
Yeah,
sort of
it's a
went
shame.
downhill.
All these Minecraft YouTubers that you watched as a child are basically dead. Dan TDM, he's still relevant, Dan, but he doesn't do Minecraft.
I'm
The
just looking at
others,
all these old videos and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that
yeah,
somewhat, yeah.
it's the
But
nostalgia.
yeah, and the old Xbox adventure maps, they were so good.
There were, yeah,
Yeah, but for I've Dan DDM I actually didn't find out through Stampy because they didn't really do videos together
no.
until later on. Like I don't even know if they've done any videos together, but they
They only
talk to
did
each other.
one collaboration, I think, and that
Super
was
Mario
Wonder
maybe.
Quest, I think.
Stan in Wonder Quest?
Stampy, Stampy
Dan.
made. Oh yeah, Dan has a one episode of Wonder
Oh
Quest.
yeah. But they're friends. They've been to like Insomnias together and they've done
Yeah,
stuff together, I think. But I found out about Dan from my other friend who was into Minecraft. But it's just I just like going back to like all these series they were making
yeah.
and looking about how long they were. They were like 4 or 5 years ago is when like they were really doing their stuff.
Yeah, 2013 was, I think, the golden era for 2013 to
2013, 2014.
2015, that sort
Yeah.
of time.
And then after that, like PC Minecraft really started
Yeah,
coming on the
that's
up.
when Bed Wars came along, and then you got,
Like mod reviews started going a bit
yeah,
down, mod pack started going a bit down.
it was like the servers, and then you got the rise of like Preston Plays. He did Bed
Yeah,
Wars,
yeah.
but then some of these creators went on to Fortnite.
Mm.
Shame on them.
Yeah, like some of the I found out about people like Unspeakable around like year
Yeah,
8, like 3 years ago. And from him I found out about some other YouTubers because they had this group called the Proper Idiots.
yeah.
And then I used to watch like their streams. Disney Infinity. Oh boy.
I like really wanted to play that, and also
Yeah,
Skylanders and all those games where you
uh,
had a physical like a collection of thingies, that were part of the
yeah,
game. But anyway, as I said earlier, Bed Wars got me into Minecraft like
yeah,
properly because before then I didn't really play it, and
yeah.
it was different for us because we didn't really get into survival Minecraft, which was the
Yeah.
original game until very recently.
No, I wouldn't say I wasn't into it. I did play occasional
Did you?
survival with
Okay,
Zach on
yeah.
his server.
Oh,
Like I can always say as soon as I've got a full set of iron gear, I'm just like
I'm
I'm gonna
out.
stop.
Yeah,
I'm bored
same.
now. I'm bored now.
Isocraft, which is the series that I made on my channel. So, context for the people who didn't follow the Isocraft series, it's literally this. The series was literally this server that we set up during lockdown, just so that we could keep playing Minecraft as friends.
It was
And
good.
it was this vanilla Minecraft server, and this was the first time I actually committed to a survival world and defeated the Ender Dragon. And then even after the Ender Dragon, I kept on building and stuff. You should definitely check out my videos. Anyway, I do want to mention story-based games. Now,
Base game.
story-based games like remember Minecraft Story Mode? Did you
That was a
follow
big
that?
thing, wasn't it?
It
That
was
was
a
like year
big thing.
7.
Yeah, I
That
followed
was
it
like episode
religiously.
4. Like it was coming out while we were like in year 7, and I watched. I don't remember. Like I kind of switched between YouTubers before settling on Dan TDM to watch his videos on story mode.
I was watching Stampy's one, but
Yeah,
so
I think. Yeah,
I personally prefer story-based games, even though I don't really play them, but I do enjoy watching them.
yeah. I used to watch. I used to watch this one YouTuber for his Lego gameplays,
Yeah,
Lego walkthroughs. I think Stampy did like the Lego Hobbit, and from there I found these other people
yeah.
who did that. There was this one
It's
YouTuber I used to love watching called Blitzwinger who did like I found him because like Stampy didn't do every single Disney Infinity thing. So I found him who was doing some more Disney Infinity stuff and I kept on watching him for his other stuff.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because I don't have a console and my computer isn't that good, I always
Uh,
tend to watch
yeah,
gameplay.
yeah, I understand
Yeah.
that.
So
I
I
understand.
remember watching the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign and
Ah,
Fallen
okay.
Order on YouTube. And I must say, I do prefer these story-based games, I think, over multiplayer,
Ah,
I
I
think.
do know this one YouTuber who's still doing sort of a playthrough
Yeah,
in Fallen Order, so I might go ahead and watch his series on Fallen
yeah.
Order.
Fallen Order
Yeah,
is really, it's lovely. I mean, the story writing is quite good.
I think the main reason we play Minecraft is, of course, I can't really run anything else on here.
Yes, yeah,
I used to watch like a YouTuber who used to play a bunch of Sonic games, so I used to sort of sometimes watch his Sonic videos. But I've been much more of a watcher than a gamer
yeah, yeah,
in both senses of YouTube and shows.
yeah. I do prefer watching cartoons and shows over playing games. If I did want to watch a game on YouTube, it would most likely be because of the story. So that's
Yeah,
why I watched these campaigns because they had canon information on Star Wars. Not because I liked the game itself, I just, wanted to know the story of the game. So that's
yeah.
why I watched these sorts of stuff. Because I'm more
I
of
think
a story person than a
yeah,
gaming person, I'd say.
yeah. Like in terms of like the Minecraft YouTubers, they really went down because like Minecraft didn't have as many sort of people weren't interested in seeing the good
Yeah,
old survival stuff because that's been seen so much. So like I now watch like these YouTubers who always play together. So like if you watch their video, it's gonna be these people that they play with, and it's sort of funny because I love seeing these friends play these games in Minecraft together. You know?
yeah. But what's interesting is how these YouTubers that we watched as a younger kid, they've died out. But then there's the
Coming
resurgence of
back.
Minecraft with Hermitcraft. So they're not the same. They're not the same YouTube YouTubers. These are different YouTubers. Like sort of replacing them, I think, in terms of the Minecraft audience, Minecraft community.
Suppose, yeah, yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
And these, these Hermitcraft guys, some of them like Mumbo Jumbo and Grian are getting like millions, like 2 million on average, 2 million
They were
views.
big. They were
Yeah,
big before, but now they're big.
these are big. Like 2 million views every episode is a lot of views.
Yeah. Like Hermitcraft has been going on for years, but it's like I'd say
Yeah,
from season 6 is when it really started getting
yeah.
views, I
What's
suppose.
interesting with season 6 was I think this was the first season where they had a storyline. Well, they introduced they not an overarching storyline, but they had mini stories,
Yeah, yeah, I
and I
understand that.
think that's it gave rise to like an almost binge watching sort of thing where you wanted to know the rest of the story, so that's why you'd stick around for the series.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
true.
which is yeah,
Uh,
it's
did want
different
to
for
ask something.
Minecraft, but
Sort of, yeah, it's changed. Like, this YouTuber called Jack Sucks at Life. He says this a lot because he has some people from his older audience that, oh, can you do some more of this or some more of this? But he says some true words. no one YouTuber will keep doing the same content for more than like maybe 2 years. There's always going to be change in both creators and the
Yeah.
communities. Yeah. I did want to say, I mentioned one thing, sort of moving on from like YouTube, which is also quite a big part of our childhoods, but like about back to games almost. What's with your username?
My
How
username.
did it come about? Thought we
So
could talk about that.
my username. Okay.
Probably have much
This will
better
be
story
like
than
the
whatever.
first time that I've explained my username slash YouTube name.
Yeah.
So, for the first time ever, uh, Geek Mythology guys, you are the first people to hear the origins of my name. Okay. Sugey stands for, I remember it's an acronym for something. Super something something YouTuber.
So you mean like is that
It
so it's like
stands for
each
something.
okay.
That's all I remember. Pop is just pop. And planet is this like, I wanted to make this world of fun. It was like in my mind it was like, I'm gonna be the biggest channel ever. I'm gonna take over the world. And I made this channel like 5 years ago, okay? In August 22. So literally in a few days' time, my channel's turning 5 years old. But back then, I went for the longer name because Stampy had a long name. Stampy Long
Yeah.
Nose. So I was
And
like,
like Dan TDM used to be called the Diamond
yeah,
Banker.
so long
But those long
names were like the normal thing back then. But if I was to make my name now, I'd probably get rid of Pop Planet and just leave it at Sugey.
yeah. For me it's not as like an elaborate explanation. Now, obviously my name,
Sao is your
a
name?
shorter
Yep.
version of my name. Uh Underscore just because I was like, people use underscores. So like
Yeah.
let me just put an underscore in there. Then back then I used to love sort of like reading about animals and reading about sort of prehistoric creatures. So I was like animal lover.
Oh, good, because
Hell
I was just gonna say something. Are you a furry?
no, because I didn't know what furries were when I was 10 years old.
But are you a furry now? You've got those cat
No,
ears. You've got cat
no,
ears.
not a furry, not a furry. But yeah,
Okay,
and
that's what they all
for
say.
me, like I would never change my Minecraft username. My Minecraft username is going to stay Sour Animal Lover, but
Yeah,
I did change some of my other usernames. Like my Discord username now is Xiaomi, just like
Sammy.
another short version of my name. And this was mainly because I used to like sort of sign up for some mobile games, play some mobile games, and you can't have such long usernames.
Yeah,
So I was like, I don't want it to be Sour Animal without the lover, though I did have that for a while on Discord and some other places. So I just want Xiaomi
yeah.
because that's my name. People won't know what my full name is. They could make as many guesses if they want. They won't get it. So yeah, Sao is just a nice short name. It's better than just Sao, where
Yeah,
people I've always had this thing where people go like, "So animal lover," to the point where in secondary school, when the teacher said "so," I thought they were saying my name for
yeah.
some reason. And that's my username, quite basic, but yeah.
This is a little bit off topic, but what's the worst attempt at your name someone has called you?
My real name or my online name?
Just whatever you want to
Because
say.
okay, so I think the worst is probably just because SOW is an English word in
Yeah,
itself, a
yeah.
female pig. So
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 yeah,
there was even this joke back in the day where I used to watch this guy called Cyclone. He was a relatively small channel at the time, and he grew. But like I used to be a regular viewer in like his streams.
yeah.
So he would make the point where he knew how to say it correctly. He just wouldn't. He'd always just say so.
So
He would never call me Sal. He'd just call me Sal. So really, it's just been so.
okay.
So the only way you can really mess up a name.
I mean,
But in real life, I think you know
real
about this.
life,
My
yes.
substitute maths teacher in year 10 or
Substitute
9.
teachers, I know, right? They always get your name wrong. Substitute teachers.
Oh my god, I don't understand. And I don't really mind my name being on
Okay,
this
what did
podcast.
he
My
call
name
you?
is
What did he
Salmi
call
N.
you?
My actual name is Salmi N, as you
Yeah.
know. So
Okay.
most teachers don't do it too badly. They go like Salmi N, Samayan, like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
those are all right. This person, the guy was cool. He was a cool teacher. He was nice, but somehow it took him months to really get it. He said Chiman.
Chiman.
Man.
That is very far off.
Yeah, but
Chim N.
yeah.
We've been talking about this for so long. We need to move on. So, the next part of the podcast is Song of the Week, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to explain the song because you wanted to talk about this song.
Okay, so the song of the week this week, I guess I'm doing all the major parts this week instead of you.
Yes.
The song of the week is "We Are" from Ice Age 4. I used to call it "We Are Family" because that's the main line of the song, but this came at the end of the fourth film in the Ice Age franchise called Ice
Yeah.
Age 4: Continental Drift, and it was all about fact that all these different creatures, like they were different species, different creatures, but they were all one big family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I of course, I like the song because of how funny it was. Because it made jokes of where like the old grandma who doesn't really know stuff went like ham and cheese, no family. Because she made that joke, and I love that part of the song. But I really just like now when I'm older, and now that I've watched like something like Fairy Tale, which has similar connotations of no matter who you are, you can still be a family,
Yeah.
and that's why I really like the song nowadays because it was just really nice.
Yeah.
Here words like that saying like we may be different, we may be completely different from each other, no biological connections, no even DNA connections, but we're still family.
Yeah. And I think it's an important message, you know.
The old quote of "friends are the family you choose," which I
Yes.
will love to stand by, and it's just the family. They'll always be there for you.
And this is from Ice
For
Age 4,
some,
right? Yeah.
yeah, for some reason, for me, I feel like in terms of friends, sort of not talk about the song, but more like what the song's about. I feel like some people become much closer to some of their friends, especially those friends you have for a long time,
Yeah.
and that I hope I have all the friends I have now for
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
years to come. As like they become like quite a sort of close group who might even know you better than your family. I don't know.
Yeah. It
Not
reminds
that you
me,
should. Not that you should push away your family. Keep your family with you, please.
yes.
Never have your
Unless you're
families and friends.
unless you're Zuko and your family is trash.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offend everybody because you might. I don't know who you are, but
Yeah.
I'd say try and treasure your friends as much as you do your family,
Yeah.
and the other
Friends
way
are
around.
important.
Treasure your family as much as you might treasure your friends. You
Mhm.
know.
So we're gonna move on to the question of the day as the last part of this podcast, and as of recording, this is a relatively fresh topic. But what are your thoughts on the?
I know. I feel like I should turn this to you
Okay,
since you probably have more thoughts on it than
okay,
I
you
do.
want? Okay, you ask me the question then.
I feel like this question is something you can talk about
Yeah.
more. But what are your thoughts on the ATLA live action remake, Avatar: The Last Airbender
Okay.
live action
So
remake?
I was actually pretty hyped. I think for the remake, and we did talk about this last time or something. But as you might have told, I was relatively enthusiastic about it. But recently, in just a few days, like a few days ago, maybe as of recording, we've got news that the creators of Avatar are leaving the live action project, and that's like raised lots of
Big
concerns. So the the really bad live action film that they made a few years ago was actually
you never watched.
I've never seen it, and I don't want to see it because it will ruin everything for me. But it was made by Nickelodeon, and it was originally going to be a trilogy with book 1, book 2, and book 3 being their own film. And that never happened because book 1, movie 1, was trash for a bunch of reasons.
One reason is whitewash cast.
Whitewashing. Second reason was bad writing. Another reason was bad acting. Another reason was just bending. Looked it was weird. There was a scene which I've seen where like 10 earthbenders are doing some weird martial arts dancing to make a inch long pebble move across the screen.
guess when everybody heard like, oh, they might actually do it properly now. They
Yeah.
have like the creators on board.
I think they will. I don't think Netflix will whitewash the cast. I doubt that will happen in 2020.
Like
But
I don't think the whitewashing is the problem.
yeah, I
I
think it's
It's because of the concerns of how apparently the creators were brought on with the promise of, oh, we will use your creative
yeah,
ideas for this,
and
but they left because Netflix wasn't doing that.
yeah, Netflix wasn't listening
Yeah,
apparently.
Netflix doesn't have a great record with live action
Yeah,
adaptation.
yeah. Netflix can make really good shows. They made Dragon Prince, which was really good.
But I
Um.
don't know how much Netflix makes these shows over the studios.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who
That's true.
DreamWorks is a phenomenal Netflix show studio
Yeah,
with all of their like sort of adaptations of different series.
yeah.
But yeah, I hope they don't do it
You don't
horribly.
want them
I
to do
hope
it.
they not that I don't mind if they
You
try
don't
it,
mind,
but I
yeah.
hope they don't.
Mess it up.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
And one of the reasons this was going around, and it was proven to be, well, not proven, but it's said to be fake news. But they were saying that Netflix wanted to age up the show a lot to make it for
I
an
only
adult
heard that
audience
today.
with gore, NSFW
I, okay,
themes.
I can understand like a bit of blood, to
Yeah,
make it a bit more realistic because it's live action. That's sometimes what I prefer, like certain versions of Power Rangers, because Power Rangers try to make it
yeah.
for kids, so
But
there's
do you want to
blood.
see
Well,
like a 15 rated Avatar show?
can make it 12 rated.
Yeah, I
12
think
rated
12 rated is good.
blood with a bit of blood, a bit more sort of like showing the injuries.
Yeah.
Like
But a
it,
mature,
I
like Game of Thrones sort of sort of vibes. Do you think that'd be a good
okay,
choice?
to be fair, like Umbrella Academy is a 15 show.
Umbrella Academy's 15, Stranger Things is 15, and I feel like Netflix,
Avatar, but for Avatar,
yeah, I don't think it would work. But I feel like they want to make Avatar a 15 as well to sort of please the same audience maybe. Do you think that would work?
I won't say they need to stick religiously to the source material because live action and animated, two very different things. They're done differently.
Yeah,
But still, to the story, they have to they should respect the
it should stay the same, I
uh
think, story-wise.
creative yeah, like sort of like okay, they might get away with changing one or two things, just to sort of maybe do that, but they shouldn't change it. And personally, can I just say something? They
Yeah,
would have adaptations are great. I feel like instead of an adaptation, they should have done something that might appeal a bit more, like continuation, show stuff
continuation,
that
yeah.
might sort of some
And
adventures.
yeah,
'Cause surely there are going to be some group of people like in Korra who don't agree with
there's
things that are
gonna
going
be
to
the
change.
Fire Nation who are gonna be really angry that they just ended the war like that. There could have been maybe a Fire Nation civil war, and what are your thoughts if they aged up the characters for a remake?
No, because
No,
the
same.
reason the reason it worked so well is because Aang was just a kid.
Yeah, and if they do age up the characters, I'm just gonna completely disregard the new stuff and keep the original Avatar as my headcanon because
Because like,
yeah.
what do you mean age them up? They're already 15, 16.
I think the aging up only is a reason to excuse them from exploring more adult themes, So I think that's a possible reason for aging up. But I think they should just keep it as it is.
Sure, like animation would have been better, but I feel like they're like, oh, we've got so much better technology. Let's just try live action. But like, it's really all the fact that the creators have said how Netflix weren't respecting their sort of
Yeah,
creative inputs. And I don't know how well it's gonna go with
yeah.
that.
I mean, if there's problems, if there's a falling out, then it generally means that there's something going on behind the scenes that is not going on as planned. And
Like,
yep, so I think that's all we
so
have time for in this podcast. So yeah, thanks for listening to our podcast. We aim to upload a new one every 2 weeks. So if you want to be notified, make sure you're subscribed or that you're following us from wherever you're listening from. And yeah, we'll see you in the next podcast.
Always, it will be super appreciated if you share this to your friends, you know?
That was a bit of a tongue twister. But anyways, yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.